In other local news, a 14-year-old is in custody following a triple homicide in northwest Jacksonville. That's according to News4Jax sources. 3 people were killed at the Calloway Cove apartments off Moncrief Road late last night. Today, News4Jax learned more information about who might be responsible. News4Jax reporter Janice Harris is live at the apartments. And Janice, you've also been working to learn more about the people who died.
That is correct, but we're still waiting to get that information confirmed. But as you mentioned, multiple sources saying the suspects, as they're only being called at this point, age range from as young as 14 and as old as 18. But we talked to a woman that lives behind us in this area at the Calloway Cove. She said she heard 20 to 30 what she thought was gunshots early this morning. JSO Gang Squad was in the area of Calloway Cove apartments when they heard shots fired. Shortly after, they saw a vehicle leaving the same apartments. According to JSO, the driver did not stop. Instead, a police chase began. JSO found out it was a stolen vehicle from Clay County. After the driver continued to flee police, the chase was stopped with a pit maneuver that stopped the car, and several people were taken into police custody.
The charges of the stolen car is just the beginning. They're going to investigate this scene. They're going to collect whatever evidence they need to collect. They're going to talk to any witnesses that they can to link them, to see if they're linked to this activity.
According to multiple sources, there are 5 suspects, some of them minors. Back at Calloway Cove, an additional canvas led police to 3 bodies in Building E. Millennia Companies owns Calloway Cove apartments. I asked if the 3 people found dead lived there. They would not confirm or deny, but they tell me that they are offering counseling to residents that need it due to the violent crime. As police continue to investigate how a late night at these apartments led to 3 people dead. And we're getting small pieces of information as we go into the day, but this just in from multiple sources as well. Keon Lester now charged with second-degree murder in this investigation. When I spoke with Kendall Ware, there's a lot of questions that you may have, but you might get limited information because JSO is in the middle of this investigation, and they're trying to do their best to make sure that they cover everything for this investigation involving the 3 people dead. So Kid Jefferson said if you don't hear a lot of information initially, it doesn't mean it won't be released later. If you know anything about this shooting, you're asked to please contact police immediately. Reporting live from Calloway Cove, Janice Harris, Channel 4, the local station.
Okay, check up. Today's date is February 9th, 2021. This story right here was published February 9th, 2021 at 6:26 a.m. The story was updated February 9th, 2021 at 6:46 p.m. The story was written by Ashley Harding. Now, when I saw this, it stood out to me because I say, hold up, I was driving and I know I saw the clouds open up and I saw chariots and angels descend upon all Negro neighborhoods now that the 46th president has been inaugurated. And the orange man is gone because the orange man, based on the news, was the source of all the ills in the black community. So when I saw this story, I said, wait a minute, hold up, this had to be 2020. No, it was 2021. So I said, well, maybe I might need to read it with a little more clarity. 3 dead in Northwest Jacksonville apartment. 4 teens arrested after chase. Multiple sources say 4 people charged in case, 1 still wanted. What? Jacksonville, Florida. 2 men and a woman were killed late Monday night at a Northwest Jacksonville apartment complex, and 4 teenagers were taken into custody after the pursuit of a stolen car that police saw leaving the area, authorities said. Now, hold up. That had to be... Okay, I'm misreading this because that had to be white supremacists or some rednecks or something, because I know damn well that wasn't no black cats that did that. No teenagers. No, not no black teen. That had to be white supremacist teenagers. We gonna get their ass. So let me finish reading. The shooting happened at about 11:50 p.m. at Calloway Cove Apartments off West Moncrief Road near Cleveland Road. Now, hold up. because I was informed by a co-worker that that was the old Washington Heights. Remember that. So I know that that's an area that Negroes roam in, that Negroes are the majority in. So I know damn well there wasn't no Negroes out there doing this. This had to be white supremacists. A Jacksonville Sheriff's Office homicide detective said its gang unit was working an assignment near the apartment complex when officers heard gunfire nearby and spotted a vehicle that looked like it was fleeing the scene. So hold up. The sheriff's gang unit was already in the area, not for this specific incident. They were in the area working another crime. Me and my partners get together and we talk. We say, man, where all these gangs at? Now we got white gangs? Because I know damn well this wasn't no Negro gang that was being investigated now that the skies have opened and the seas have parted. So we got white gangs now, huh? But we gonna get them, though. We gonna get them. The vehicle, which police say was reported stolen out of Clay County. Hold up. Stolen out of Clay County. So this is about 3-4 crimes going on before the initial car chase. A vehicle was stolen out of Clay County. That's Orange Park. And Orange Park don't play that crime nonsense. So, okay. The vehicle, which police say was reported stolen out of Clay County, led officers on a chase for several miles before it was eventually brought to a stop by an officer using a pit maneuver. Wait a minute. The officers used the pit maneuver. That means they rammed the back end of the car until it starts spinning. That's racist. Because you can't have no white officer do a pit. Oh, wait a minute. The pit maneuver was on the white boys that did the crime in Washington Heights. Okay, I take all that back. The pit maneuver was legit. It wasn't white cop and pitting car full of black dudes. It was white cop pit maneuvering the white gang that did the shooting in Washington Heights. Okay. Police say they took 4 people into custody and recovered guns from the vehicle. The investigation led officers back to Building E at the complex where they found 3 people shot to death in an apartment. According to multiple sources, there are 5 suspects, some of them minors, including a 14-year-old. Sources identify one of the suspects as 18-year-old Keon Lester. Hold up now. These got to be white boys, because like I said, I know ain't no Negroes doing this to each other. So white boy could Keon, well, we all mixed up now. So I'm trying to think if I know a white boy named Keon Lester at that. So maybe it's just, it's a possibility it could still be some white boys. Anyway, suspects identified one of the suspects as 18-year-old Keon Lester, who's charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of criminal conspiracy in a life or first-degree felony crime. A neighbor told News4Jax she heard what sounded like an estimated 20 to 30 gunshots at the complex early Tuesday. Yeah, y'all heard what the FBI say, that the white boys and the white supremacists is buying up all the ammunition. So that makes a lot of sense, because they had a lot of extra ammunition to let go, because since the white supremacists is buying all the ammo. All right. Let me see. News4Jax crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson. Okay, Ken Jefferson on the scene. It got to be some white boy, because Ken Jefferson reminds me of Jacksonville version of Benjamin Crump. All right. Anyway, Ken Jefferson said the presence of JSO's gang unit will be the key in the case. The gang squad happened to be in the area already, obviously investigating gang activity, them damn white boys, and very fortunate to hear the gunshots when they went off. Otherwise, you'd have to have a response time for units to get there, and these suspects that fled the scene would have been long gone, Jefferson said. Yeah, and I say they would have been long gone back to Massachusetts or Burbank or somewhere like that where they came from, them damn white supremacists. All right. The apartment complex is about 3 blocks from where a 19-year-old was shot and killed last month. Now, I give that a little grace period, because the orange man was still in and Negroes still had the excuse for doing crazy things. So we might let that one slide a little bit. Police said over 100 people were in the area at the time, but no one has come forward with information about the case. Well, that's because snitches get stitches. Yeah, snitches get stitches, and we don't play that shit in the hood. We don't rat on each other. Now, if you went to visit somebody at the Capitol between January 5th and the 7th, I don't give a damn if you wasn't at the Capitol. If you went to visit somebody in D.C. or even Maryland, I'm calling the FBI on your ass. But you shoot somebody in my neighborhood, a kid in my neighborhood, we don't tell that. Snitches get stitches. Anyway, the area has wrestled with violent crime for years. In 2015, Jacksonville City Council named 4229 Moncrief Road as one of the top locations in the city you were most likely to be a victim of a violent crime. Wait a minute, hold up. 2015, they named it a violent area. It's 2021, so that was 6 years ago. And we ain't did. Oh, the Orange Man was in there for the most part of that though, so we give him a pass on that. But we're gonna clean this shit up now though. Okay, anyway. In 2018, Millennia Companies bought the complex at 4229 West Moncrief Road and spent $10.6 million on renovations. Now, we can't have them supremacists coming there tearing up that after they would put all that money into rebuilding the hood. So white supremacists, y'all need to stay away. $10.6 million on renovations. A spokesperson for the company issued a statement in News4Jackson in response to Monday's violence. We are saddened by this violence and sympathize with those affected by the incident, the statement said in part. Our property management and leadership teams are deeply engaged in responding to this event and cooperating with law enforcement officials as they continue their investigations. For those who may need help coping during this difficult time, we have made counselors available for our residents and staff. Anyone with information about this case is asked to contact the Sheriff's Office by calling 904-630-0500 or via email at jsocrimetips@jacksheriff.org. Those who wish to remain anonymous can call Crime Stoppers at 866-845-TIPS. That's right, you can remain anonymous because we know snitches get stitches. But what we got to do first and foremost is get these white supremacists out the hoods. We can't have them coming to our hoods, just destroying the neighborhood, terrorizing our black folks like that. We cannot allow that. So you got to set aside that snitches get stitches, and anybody who saw these white boys do anything, you got to call the authorities. Remember, you can remain anonymous. And we got to clean up our neighborhoods of these white supremacists and these racists, because we can't allow this. The Orange Man is gone, so now we got to clean up all the damage that he left behind. And hell, I even heard Joe Biden might come to the neighborhood himself and arrest mofos, like Cory Booker used to do in New Jersey. Black Lives Matter. Fuck out of here.